You know, people always see the glory. They see the highlight reels, the speeches, the smiles, but they don't see the nights I cried myself to sleep. They don't see the moment I laid on that football field, couldn't feel my right arm, and realized my life would never be the same. And I remember lying there asking God, why me? You know, everybody wants to walk in purpose. Everybody wants to live a life that means something. But what most people don't realize is purpose doesn't show up wrapped in comfort. Purpose shows up wearing pain. It doesn't knock on your door with applause and opportunity. It usually comes disguised as heartbreak, disappointment, or loss. See, the road to purpose ain't pretty. It's messy, it's lonely, it's filled with moments that make you question everything, your faith, your strength, your identity. But that's where the real transformation happens. Because pain is the process. Pain is the passageway that takes you from who you were to who you're meant to be. When I got hurt, people saw the injury. They saw the cast, the brace, the nerve damage. They didn't see what was really going on, how God was performing surgery on my soul. He was removing the parts of me that were attached to the game, attached to the spotlight, attached to a version of success that wasn't meant to last. I used to think football was my identity. It was all I knew, all I breathed, all I dreamed. And then in one hit, gone, in one play, everything I'd built my life around was stripped away. And I remember lying in that hospital bed, staring at my right arm that would never work again, and asking, what am I supposed to do now? And that's when the revelation came. Sometimes God has to break you to build you. Sometimes He has to strip away what you thought was your purpose, so you can discover the purpose that's been waiting underneath. Because here's the truth. You can't develop strength without resistance. You can't build character without struggle. You can't grow faith without fear. Pain is not the enemy. Pain is the invitation. It's God saying, I'm not done with you yet. See, we live in a world that tells us to avoid pain at all costs. Take the shortcut, find the easy route. But if you spend your whole life running from pain, you'll spend your whole life running from purpose. Because purpose is found in the moments that test you. Purpose is found in the places that stretch you. Purpose is found in the things that make you fall to your knees and say, Lord, I don't know how I'm gonna make it. I trust you. When that injury happened, I thought my dream was over. But in reality, my dream was being redefined. That field I used to run on, it became my classroom. That pain I used to curse, it became my teacher. And every tear I cried became a seed of empathy, a seed of purpose, a seed that would one day grow into a message that could help somebody else. Because here's what I learned: when you go through pain and you keep your heart pure, your story stops being about you. It becomes about the people you're called to serve. You stop asking me and you start asking, oh, can I help because of this? Pain changes when your perspective changes. When you stop seeing it as punishment and start seeing it as preparation, you stop running from it and you start running with it. You start using it. You start letting it push you forward instead of hold you back. You start understanding that maybe, just maybe, the thing that hurt you most was actually the thing that healed you. And that's the beauty of it. Pain doesn't always leave you the same. It refines you. It humbles you. It sharpens your focus. It teaches you compassion. It gives you a story that can set somebody else free. Every single day, I meet people who are stuck in bitterness because of what happened to them. And I tell them, what if you shifted your mindset? What if you started believing that what happened to you actually happened for you? Because maybe that setback wasn't a sentence, it was a setup. Maybe that betrayal wasn't the end, it was the beginning of your awakening. Pain is powerful, but it's only powerful when you choose to see the purpose inside it. Anybody can suffer. Not everybody can transform their suffering. That's a decision. That's a mindset. That's a commitment to say, I refuse to let this pain make me bitter. I'm gonna let it make me better. When you live like that, something happens. Your scars start speaking louder than your wounds. Your story starts giving hope to people who've lost theirs. And your pain stops being your prison. It becomes your platform. So if you're going through something right now and you feel like your world is falling apart, listen to me, don't run from it. Don't hide from it. Don't waste it. There's purpose in that pain. There's power in that pressure. And one day you'll look back and realize the pain didn't break you. It built you. It turned you into the person you were always meant to become. Because sometimes the road to power runs straight through pain. You know, everybody wants to walk in purpose. Everybody wants to live a life that matters, a life that means something. But what most people don't realize is that purpose doesn't show up wrapped in comfort. It doesn't come with applause or ease. It comes through pain. Purpose doesn't knock on your door saying, hey, I'm your destiny. Here's a roadmap and a reward. No, purpose shows up dressed in pain, disguised as disappointment, disguised as heartbreak, disguised as that moment when life punches you in the mouth and dares you to get back up. I learned that the hard way. See, I had a dream. From the time I was 7 years old, I wanted to make it to the NFL. That wasn't just a goal, that was survival. Because when you grow up in a 2-bedroom house with 14 people, when your cousins are running the streets, When your mom's working double shifts and your dad's not around, you cling to a dream like it's oxygen. And for me, football was that oxygen. It gave me direction. It gave me discipline. It gave me something to believe in when everything around me was falling apart. So I worked when nobody was watching. I ran routes until my legs burned. I studied plays until my eyes blurred. I lifted weights until my body screamed for rest, because I believed if I just worked hard enough, I could change my family's life. I could break the cycle. I could make them proud. And then one night, September 9th, 2006, my life changed forever. We were playing against Air Force. It was just another game. I remember the snap, the run, the hit, and then silence. Couldn't move my right arm, couldn't feel my fingers. And as I laid there on that turf, I realized my dream, everything I'd worked for, was slipping away. They rushed me to the hospital. Doctors told me my right arm and hand were completely paralyzed. My career was over, and I'll never forget that moment, because when you lose what you thought defined you, it's like losing yourself. You start questioning everything. Who am I now? What's next? Why me? I was angry, I was broken, and I remember lying in that hospital bed, staring at my arm that would never work again, and hearing that small, still voice in my heart whisper, this isn't the end, it's the beginning. And I didn't understand it then, I couldn't see it, but that voice was right, because pain is never wasted. Pain has a purpose, and if you let it, pain will prepare you for what comfort never could. See, what I thought was a tragedy, God was using as training. The same pain that I thought would destroy me was actually developing me. It stripped away my ego, my entitlement, my false identity. It forced me to see that I wasn't born just to play a game. I was born to change lives, because the truth is, pain introduces you to yourself. When everything is stripped away, when the lights go out, when the applause fades, what's left, that's who you really are, and that's what pain reveals. Pain will ask you questions success never will. Pain will challenge your character. It'll force you to confront your faith. It'll make you decide, are you gonna fold, or are you gonna fight? Are you gonna stay bitter? Are you gonna get better? Are you gonna let this break you or build you? When I lost football, I had a choice. I could become a victim of my story. I could make my story a victory for somebody else. And I chose the second one, because I realized if I can help somebody else find hope in their hurt, then my pain wasn't pointless. You see, we all love the idea of strength, but nobody wants the struggle that builds it. We want purpose, but we don't want the process that produces it. And that's why so many people miss their calling, because they quit in the middle of their pain. They see pain as punishment instead of preparation. But the pain is part of the process. It's the evidence that you're being refined, not rejected. It's the sign that you're being built, not broken. Because sometimes God doesn't remove the pain, He repurposes it. He uses it to shape your character, to build your endurance, to give you compassion for others, to show you that even when life knocks you down, your spirit, your faith is unbreakable. You see, I used to thank God for the blessings. Now I thank Him for the battles, because it's in the battles that you discover your true strength. It's in the pain that you find your power. And when you start to see your pain that way, your whole perspective shifts. You stop asking, why me? And you start saying, thank you, because the pain that humbled you will be the same pain that empowers you. The same struggle that made you cry will be the same struggle that makes you strong enough to carry somebody else through theirs. And that's what purpose really is. Purpose is when your pain becomes somebody else's hope. Purpose is when your scars tell a story that reminds someone, if he made it, I can too. So if you're going through something right now, and you feel like the world's falling apart, don't run from it, don't hide from it, don't waste it. Because that pain has power inside it. That pain is shaping something in you that success could never teach you. Sometimes the very thing that feels like it's breaking you is the thing that's building you. Sometimes the worst thing that ever happened to you is preparing you for the best thing that's about to happen through you. I tell people all the time, pain isn't the end of your story. It's the beginning of your testimony. The wound isn't your weakness. It's your weapon. Because when you turn pain into purpose, you stop living as a victim and start walking as a vessel. So when life hits you, and it will hit you, remember this, you can't always control the outcome, but you can control the outlook. You can't always choose what happens to you, but you can choose how you respond to it. And if you respond with faith, gratitude, and grit, nothing can stop you. Because pain is temporary, but purpose is eternal. Pain may change your plans, but it can't cancel your calling. Pain may shake your body, but it can't touch your soul. So keep going. Keep believing, keep trusting, because one day you'll look back at that same pain and realize it didn't break you, it built you. It made you who you are. It gave you a story that could set somebody else free. And that's when you understand the truth. The man who learns to turn pain into power is the man who can never be defeated.